lowly radish is one of the easiest and earliest plants to grow in your garden. There are so many cultivars of them also, over 100 cultivars. So think beyond just the little red balls that you see in the supermarket. Not that there's anything wrong with those, but there's a lot of other varieties you could grow. Here's an example of one called a watermelon radish, named for its pretty watermelon colored inside. And it's a whitish pink color on the outside. So we're going to plant these radish seeds now, and the packet tells us that the seed depth should be about 1/4 of an inch. So we will just make a tiny little trench with our finger, and the seed spacing, which the packet also tells us, is about 20 seeds to the foot. So here are the seeds. They look a lot like other brassica seeds. They're round and smooth, but they're actually pretty big. So it's not so hard to grab one seed at a time, which makes it pretty easy to plant them. So we will just drop them in. Then once we're done, we will just tap them in gently and then just push the soil over them. Then, this is important, we tamp them down because we want good contact between the seed and the soil. And they're going to germinate in about 5 to 7 days. Here are our radish seedlings. Now, because they're in the cruciferous family, which includes a lot of plants, the seedlings look just like any other cruciferous veggie when they first come up. They will begin to look different, of course, when they start to get bigger. Radishes can be planted very early in the spring because they can take chill and they can take a light frost. Here are our radish seedlings a little bit further on, just starting to get their true leaves. Here are radish seedlings after they've gotten a little bit bigger. At this stage, you could eat them just for their spicy greens, since the radish root below the ground is still very tiny. Here we have a sea of radish tops, and the mature radishes below are all ready to be pulled. But this is a root. A radish is just a big fat root, and it's still rooted into the soil by its root tail, while the top of the root, which is this part that you see, pushes up out of the soil. So this variety is called a French breakfast radish. Interesting name. It's long, thinner, and pinkish red, and you can still see its very first leaves with that classic crucifer heart shape. French breakfast radishes are an heirloom variety, so heirloom refers to non-hybrids that are more than 50 years old. Despite the name, the French don't typically eat radishes at breakfast. They may have been labeled as such, though, because they're milder and sweeter than the more common cherry bell, so perhaps it was thought that you could eat them for breakfast if you really wanted to. And here's another variety, Pink Beauty. It's cute, round, petite, and pink. To harvest a radish, it's so easy. Just grab the radish root that's bulging out of the soil and pull. You can see that long root tail that was holding it into the ground as it comes out. But what you can't see, unless you look very closely, are the tiny root hairs on the root that are actually the things that are grabbing the soil and transferring water and nutrients from the soil into the plant as it grows. It's also worth noting that radishes grown in the spring will be milder than ones grown in the summer. The warmer the soil that the radish is growing in, the spicier the radish. So, remember those watermelon radishes that we planted? Well, I let a few of them stay in the ground for a few weeks after they could have been pulled up. And guess what? Just like any cruciferous vegetable that's left to grow after it's ready to be eaten, they flowered. Here's the flower. This is why we call them cruciferous veggies, because the flowers got the 4 petals in the shape of a cross.
Just a half cup of radishes offers 14% of your daily vitamin C. Vitamin C is an antioxidant that helps battle free radicals in your body and helps prevent cell damage caused by aging, an unhealthy lifestyle, and environmental toxins. Parsnips, just like radishes, are a part of the cruciferous family of vegetables. Cruciferous vegetables are loaded with a group of bioactive compounds called glucosinolates. Try and say that word 5 times fast. This group of plant compounds have numerous studies that have linked higher intakes of glucosinolates with a reduced risk of different types of cancer. Radish greens are low in calories, high in potassium, vitamin A, fiber, and a lot of other nutrients, so you definitely don't want to just throw them away. We're showing a super simple recipe on how to roast radishes. Here's a shot of our ingredients today. The recipe calls for 40 radishes. Obviously I'm not using 40 radishes, but we're supplementing with some parsnips too because the recipe is so versatile. We've got our radishes, our parsnips, some peanut oil, some soy sauce, and some scallions, otherwise known as green onions, and some sesame seeds. First, go preheat your oven to 425 degrees. That can heat up while you're prepping everything. Then we can get started by trimming the greens of the radishes. These greens can be saved and used in omelets, soups, and really any other dish that calls for added greens. After we've trimmed the greens, we can cut the ends of the radishes off. When you're cutting something round like a radish, it's a good idea to cut one side off to make a flat surface. The flat end goes onto the cutting board and makes cutting a little bit easier and safer. Try to cut them into same-size pieces for even cooking. Next, we can cut the scallions into thin slices. I always use the bottom of scallions for my stocks. You can save them in a freezer bag. Add carrots, celery, onions, and any other vegetable parts we don't typically eat. Then you can make your own vegetable stock with food parts you would normally throw away. Next, you can toss your radishes and your parsnips with 3 tablespoons of peanut oil, and then you can mix it all together. Once you've got your vegetables all tossed with oil, add them to a sheet pan and roast them for about 20 minutes. Once they're tender and starting to brown, you can remove them from the oven. Now that your vegetables are nice and toasty, you can toss them with the soy sauce. You pick how much you want to use, anywhere between 2 and 4 tablespoons is just fine. Toss in your pre-chopped scallions as well and mix everything together. Now you can pop that back in the oven for about 5 minutes. While the veggies are roasting, you can toast your sesame seeds. Put your seeds in a dry pan and toast over the stove for about 2 minutes, or until they start to look a little brown. Once the vegetables are done roasting, you can serve them in a big bowl. Add some more scallions if you'd like, and sprinkle them with some extra toasted sesame seeds. I love sesame seeds, so I'll add a little more than the recipe calls for. And there you have it. The roasted radishes and parsnips went well with salmon and rice I was serving that night. I added some avocado and mango too. You could pair this with really any citrus fruit when they're in season. Add some scallions or more sesame seeds, whatever you like. You can also enjoy the vegetable as is. They're served great, both hot and cold.